Good afternoon, everybody. Still got a few people just filling into the arena, but welcome everybody. My name is Bridget Wilkinson. I'm the CEO of Council on the Ageing, Cota, Tasmania, and I have the great pleasure of being your MC today. If able, ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of Her Excellency, the Honourable Barbara Baker, Governor of Tasmania, and Emeritus Professor Don Chalmers. Thank you, everyone. So again, a warm welcome to you all, and thank you for joining us here today in this beautiful auditorium as we celebrate our new program, Generations Connect Tech Together. Today we'll be sharing with you the remarkable impact of intergenerational learning in Tasmania, which has only been happening for a very short space of time, but it's already having a huge impact, and we have a lot of the participants here with us today. We're going to premiere a short film capturing the stories, the friendships, and the digital learning outcomes from this program. We're going to celebrate the achievements of the young digital mentors, of the residents and staff involved in our Term 3 programs of Tech Together. And we also recognise the ongoing support of our sponsors, our community partners and government stakeholders that have helped us to achieve this goal. And at the end, we'll have some wonderful participants come and join me so we can hear a bit more from them directly. A few little housekeeping things to mention. If anyone needs the toilet, if we just head out to the left here to the foyer and left again. And we hope there's not, but if there is an emergency and we are asked to leave the venue, if you could also make your way to my left, out to the foyer and outside, and the Cota staff will help support us to get to where we need to be. So I'd like to acknowledge firstly with deep respect the resilience and knowledge of the Palawa people, the traditional custodians of Lutruwita, Tasmania. We value the wisdom of Aboriginal elders past and present and the role that they play in continuing to care for country. And at Cota, we also value the diverse voices of older Tasmanians, and we're committed to listening and to learning from what we hear. And what a better week to listen and to learn than Seniors Week. Kicks off tomorrow. We have some guides here for everybody to take home with them. But it's the 27th year this year of Seniors Week in Tasmania, and it's an opportunity to connect, to try out a local activity, as well as a time to embrace and celebrate the contributions of older Tasmanians that they continue to make across our state. I'd like to acknowledge formally, again, our patron, Her Excellency the Honourable Barbara Baker, Governor of Tasmania, and we've had the fortune of having you as our patron for many years. Thank you. And also to Emeritus Professor Don Chalmers. It's really invaluable, the support that you provide to us, and we're really happy that you could join us today, and we look forward to our coming to your home tomorrow to mark the start of Seniors Week. I'd like to acknowledge the Honourable Bridget Archer MP, Minister for Ageing, as well as Minister for Health, Mental Health and Wellbeing. I believe this is your first official event as our new Minister for Ageing, and we warmly welcome you today, and we'll be hearing from you shortly. For many years, we've strongly advocated for a minister to support and represent the needs of older Tasmanians, and we really look forward to further strong relationships with you. I'd also like to welcome Meg Webb, who's here in the room today, and I do believe Tammy Tyrrell, Independent Senator, is joining us online. To our board directors, President and Chair of the Board, Ingrid Harrison, Vice President Jenny Brant-Allen, and Claire Pryor and Aaron Delatour, thank you for coming today. We have several aged care partners here that have been part of the program. Sandown Apartments, Rosary Gardens, Rivulet, Corrambine, Ningana and One Care. in Bishop's Davy, and we really value that you've come on board to be part of this with us. I do believe George Wilson, who's been quite pivotal from One Care, is tuning in online. Thank you. And our schools, we have 6 schools, and so many of the students from those schools have joined us in school holidays, I might add, to come and be out with us on a Sunday. So Hobart City High, Big Picture, Kingston High, Farn, Indie School Sorrel, Indie School New Norfolk, and as well as the University of Tasmania students, and also some students participating from homeschool programs. And those of you online, we have quite a few online registrations. Thank you for taking the time. So this program has been made possible from funding from the Tasmanian government, from an election commitment following the 2024 state election. And we've also had some grants from an Australian organisation called Good Things Foundation. And we really thank them for their support. To members of the community and families, I can see a lot of people are here with their parents and families today. Thank you for your interest in supporting your community and your students on this journey. And save the best for last. For those of you that were participants in our program, are you happy if you can put your hand up? Who was part of Tech Together this term? Yeah, quite a few of you are with us. Thank you for trusting us and for trusting Mel to bring this project to life and being so enthusiastic every week that we came to spend time with you. So before I give you a little bit more of an intro and we watch the film, I'd now like to introduce the Honourable Bridget Archer, Minister for Ageing, to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Bridget, and welcome to all of you. Special welcome, of course, to Her Excellency, the Governor of Tasmania, Barbara Baker, and also Emeritus Professor Don Chalmers as well. I'd also like to acknowledge and pay my respects to the Tasmanian Aboriginal people as the traditional and original owners and continuing custodians of this land on which we gather today, and acknowledge elders past and present. I'm really excited to be here for the launch of the Generations Connect Tech Together film. What a wonderful way to come together on the eve of Seniors Week. As Tasmania's first Minister for Ageing, one of the most inspiring things I see is when generations come together to learn and to overcome challenges. We know our older Tasmanians have a wealth of wisdom and experience that we can all learn and grow from. Older Tasmanians are immensely important in our community, and our government recognises the valuable contributions they make to our society and to our economy. Unfortunately, many older Tasmanians endure stigma, isolation and insecurity during their later years. We can all support older Tasmanians in unlocking their potential socially, economically and culturally. This message forms a key part of a respectful, age-friendly island, our Older Tasmanians Action Plan, to ensure older Tasmanians are valued, connected and supported. The Action Plan seeks to enable an environment that supports the wellbeing, potential and value of older Tasmanians and addresses the unique challenges associated with ageing in Tasmania. The Tasmanian Government is proud to support the delivery of Tech Together, which is helping to improve digital inclusion for older Tasmanians. We've provided $150,000 per year for 2 years to this initiative, which breaks down many barriers that older Tasmanians face. The program equips older Tasmanians with the digital tools necessary to navigate our interconnected world and live independent, empowered lives. It assists young Tasmanians as well, providing valuable communication skills and leadership opportunities, and a chance to connect and learn from those who have come before. But perhaps the most valuable aspects are the intergenerational friendships forged and stories shared, and the breakdown of stereotypes about ageing. I'd like to thank Bridget Wilkinson and the team at Cota, Tasmania for the organisation's skill and commitment to developing this program. With Seniors Week beginning tomorrow, today's event is a perfect reminder of the importance of celebrating older Tasmanians, not just this week, but every week. I can't wait to see today's film, hear from participants during the panel session and chat with you over the course of our afternoon together. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Minister. So I'm not going to say too much because I do believe that the film will tell you what the program's about, but just to give you a little bit of an understanding, we train young Tasmanians as digital mentors, equipping them with skills to support older community members in building confidence with technology, but also fostering friendships along the way. And so we've chosen to trial and run this program within residential aged care homes. And so we have structured weekly sessions where students and older adults meet one-on-one to explore devices, apps, talk about scams, but most importantly, it's in a really supportive patient learning environment. We've already trained over 120 young digital mentors in the first term alone. And it's more than a program. It's a movement of kindness, of learning and community resilience. So as part of this important pilot, and to make sure that we have clear evidence, we've been partnering with researchers from the Australian Institute for Intergenerational Practice who are supporting us to evaluate our learnings and the impact of these interactions. So before I say to our lovely tech person, please hit play, I'd also just like to acknowledge Dave and Mel. I don't know if you can put your hands up there. Dave and Mel from Mad Finch Productions. They are passionate about bringing stories to life, and they've been visiting Rosary Gardens each week over the life of the program there to interact and get to know the participants and frame the story that you're about to watch. I chose not to watch, so I'm going to come and sit with you and probably need a tissue or two. It's quite inspiring, I hear, from Mel and Kate who've seen it. But I understand, and I hope you will too, that I think the film's going to capture beautifully the essence of our program and the friendships that have been made along the way. So I'm going to come and join you in the audience and invite us all now to enjoy watching the film. Following that, we will have some participants come up for a panel discussion. Thank you.
So Cota, Tasmania were successful in receiving state government funding together with the Good Things Foundation to develop an intergenerational digital inclusion program. So I go out into schools to train up young people as young digital mentors, and then we go into aged care homes and do one-on-one tech support.
I think elderly people tend to feel left behind. And as a younger person, I feel like too many older people think badly of us because there's such a bad picture painted of us. Like, oh, they commit crimes, they're rude. We're two different generations, and I think we can learn from each other.
Well, I'm 84 years old now, so there's not much more room to learn anything. Like, I used to, up to 4 years ago, I was still driving trucks.
I've learnt that Wayne has lived a pretty good life and he's really happy and doesn't live with any regrets. And I think that there's a lot of life lessons you can learn from older people.
I think the real value is the human connection. So the young people getting to hear about the people's experience. I mean, this generation's the first generation that has grown up with technology. So for them, it's a real stretch to realise that some people, it's completely new and completely foreign, that they grew up and they didn't have phones. You know, if they did have a phone, it was attached to the wall.
When I try to find the solution, I can't even understand the instructions because it's just like a foreign language. So if this helps to bridge that gap, well, you know, that's the reason I'm doing it.
Well, I'm paired with Sister Frances and my brother, and we're working on teaching her mainly how to delete contacts on her phone because she's got a lot of unwanted contacts / scam and spam contacts, which she doesn't need. Her vision isn't that good, she struggles to see, so we need to help make the fonts bigger so she can actually read what's on her computer and on her phone.
They talk a lot about the generation gap. Well, the generation gap can be bridged, but I think one has to have the right mindset, and I look upon the younger generation as being much more talented in their field and perhaps much closer to the education scene because they're in the learning environment every day. And I regard that they've got a lot to contribute to me.
When you're young, it's impossible to imagine yourself at 85.
I guess, obviously the main hope was for the older person to learn new digital skills. And I guess what I didn't think would happen so quickly was the beautiful friendships that have formed basically instantly. They just can't wait to see each other every week, which is so beautiful. And the smile on each other's face when they're in the room is lovely to see.
They were raving about how interesting the people were. Someone called out and said, "Did anyone have someone from overseas?" I'm like, "Yes, I had one from Germany." "Oh, I'd like to talk to them." They were arguing about whose person was the coolest and the best once we got back. But all of the students spoke really positively.
A window on the world. It's so different. I was just speaking to my partner about shorthand and typing because she went to Ogilvy and nobody does it now. Well, she didn't know what shorthand was.
Besides relatives, people coming in, they don't get many teenagers coming in to actually chat with them. And this way they can actually chat about the computers but also about their lives as well and tell them a few stories which they're really enjoying as well.
I've actually done a thing on this in my Intro to Sociology and Psychology class. So with old people, with having younger kids come in, it like prevents depression and all. So them being here by themselves, most of them don't have family or anything. It's nice to have that company that they have, especially from younger people as well. Like, I don't know, it just lights up the room for them. It does.
What I've liked so far is the interaction, the way we've responded and the way we've worked together on the project that we had before us.
I've never really done this sort of thing before, so it's great to explore new areas and see what their lives have been like.
In a home, there's not a real lot to do. So, it breaks up the day, and gives you something to think about. Yeah, no, I reckon it's really good.
I just like the experience, because, I've done a lot of different things. I've done childcare, I've worked in a primary school, I've go to high school, but you don't really communicate with people that are older. So I think it's nice to just have a variety of people that you can talk to.
I think it'll enrich their lives. These students are already drawn to helping people and they have empathy for others. So I think that will just deepen, and I think that we could probably expect these people to become advocates for our ageing population.
I think it's great. They're really lovely and it's been really enjoyable so far.
I feel like talking to older generations, I feel like you learn so much more from them and you can teach them so much as well. It's very fascinating, it is. I do like it.
I feel like there's a lot of stigma online that elderly people can have old-fashioned ways of thinking, but it's not true at all.
So it's been amazing 10 weeks. We've had a lot of fun activities that have improved cognitive and health and wellbeing, as well as obviously learning new digital skills, which has been amazing. The students have helped people take selfies and send to family members, which has really been beautiful. Learn how to send text messages and that sort of thing. So it's basic digital skills, but really vital for everyday living.
I'm certainly the better for the experience, there's no doubt about that. Well, I'm just generally speaking more familiar with the icons and how the icons work. I mean, I'm confined myself to making a call, sending a call, which is vital, making a text, sending a text, which is also vital, with emails, but within the parameters of those 5 things is basically where I work. Anything beyond that, that's where I begin to struggle.
I knew that technology wasn't very intuitive, but looking at elderly people use it sort of made me realise, oh, it's actually really poorly designed. It should be a lot easier than this.
When I Google things, she explained to me that you could speak into it, ask the question you wanted to write, and it comes up just the same.
It's interesting because it's been set up for the students to assist the residents with their technology. The digital tech's still there. If they've got a problem, they ask. But I think the highlight for both the residents and the students is just getting together and talking.
I have been offered a traineeship at One Care in Glenorchy, which is an aged care home. Well, all I wanted to do coming here was to talk to old people, get to know them, learn a few things and get to teach them a few things as well. But I've been offered the job to take care of them as well. And it's very exciting. It's opened a bigger chapter for me, really, in my life, which I did not expect to be given.
So the program concludes in 1 week, but I think all bar 1 or 2 students have elected to continue visiting with the residents. So we'll be continuing to come.
I guess the hopes for Cota, Tasmania is to see Generations Connect Tech Together expand statewide, because we know the benefits that this program has offered both younger and older Tasmanians, and we would love to see it operating in every aged care home across Tasmania. So we're on the lookout for further funding to make that dream become a reality.
This is on a micro thing we're doing here, but it should be done in a wider way in society, because I think both sides can contribute to each other.
One of the residents and their student, I was so disappointed I put my camera away. As I was saying goodbye, there's a spontaneous hug. So there's genuine affection there between the residents and the young people.
This program is important because it improves digital literacy in older residents. It improves social isolation and health and wellbeing, and it's important because it builds beautiful relationships and ongoing friendships between the younger and older people.
What was your favourite moment from having me and Maisie visit?
Meeting you.
What do you think you taught the teenagers?
Do you think you taught the older adults?
Well, I've made a very good friend in Jazz, and I have to keep in contact with her.
I just really enjoyed having conversations with Audrey. I came here to teach her digital tech, but we stopped doing that in the first couple of weeks and ended up just having conversations each week.
I think they're so young and fresh, and they didn't try to make me feel as though I was old.
And she's taught us all sorts of things. She's taught us about her generation and how it's different from ours, but how it's the same as well. Taught us about the plants growing around Rosemary Garden. So yeah, it was really enjoyable.
Oh yes, I have made more friends.
It's been really cool hearing about her life. I've heard many stories, and I think it's really inspiring and really, really interesting, and I've loved it.
This whole sort of experience taught me that every single person on the planet has their own story and their own life, and being able to hear an elderly person's whole life is really interesting. And learning so much about Wayne's experiences and his stories has been incredible.
I've learnt more about each other than we probably thought we did.
Yeah.
But it's been very enriching.
It's been amazing, really, to just converse and not only teach, but also learn from the older people. It's a bit difficult to put into words just how marvellous this has really been for me.
I feel like I want to watch that 3 or 4 more times over and just take it, absorb it all in. What we're going to do now is we're going to have some wonderful participants come and join myself up on the stage here. So we'll just give us a few minutes to get people up, and we're going to ask them a few more questions about what the impact of being involved has been for them. So we've got Harvey and Alicia, and we've got Frank and Kathleen and Liz
Thank you.
That's okay. You take your time. Which seat would you prefer, Frank? That one there, so you can sit next to. All good? So you want to hold this and then you can share it as you go. Gotcha. And we've got Kathleen. And I think we've got our wonderful people from Ningana in Sorel. Thank you for joining us. Where would you like to sit, Kathleen? You want to sit next to your friend? And Emma. You're good? Give you a few minutes. So, if we could start, and there's a little microphone you can pass along, but maybe start with you there, Liz, and just tell everyone your name. I know some of you are featured quite a lot in the film. Your name and a fun fact about yourself.
My name's Liz and I am a crazy bird lady.
Hey!
My name's Emma, and I did think about this question and I really have no idea because, but yes, I'm a mad car lover, so we've got Bathurst 1000 today, so yeah.
And you still came, thank you,
still
Emma.
Come, so I'll catch up on that a bit later.
And we've got Frank.
Yes, my name is Frank Goff. I'm nearly 78 years of age, and so I'm fit into the category of a baby boomer. A baby boomer is somebody who's born between 1946 and 1964, so I qualify there, and I'm learning to relate and have learnt to relate to somebody who is of the Generation Z. That's the people that have been born, and these are only rough guidelines, but born between 1995 and 2012. So that's me.
That's your fun fact. Excellent. Thank you, Frank. Harvey.
I'm Harvey, and I have a cat who resorts to violence for everything he needs.
Alicia.
I'm Alicia and I coach and am a cheerleader.
Oh, that's exciting. Kathleen, just something fun about yourself, just a fun fact.
I'm Kathleen and I've been a resident of Bishop Davies now for 2 years this month, and I'm quite enjoying it. I'm nearly 93 and I've done some very interesting things, especially with the classes we've had with we've had some very fun times with the girls. It's been absolutely lovely, and unfortunately one of my partners, Marley, she couldn't come today, and I was so disappointed because we've kept in touch, and I hope to still do that. I'll ring her up when we go home and tell her what a good day it's been today and how much we've seen, and I just enjoy my time down here.
Yeah. So you keep hold of that microphone then, Kathleen, and I've got a question for you. You've talked a bit about the fun and the friendship. what about the tech skills? Have you been still practicing what you might have been learning off Marley?
Doing what?
The technical skills with your phone, with the device.
Yes, I'm getting very clever with that.
Yeah.
But I'm also making a mess of it at times. But I text and I can take photos and send photos and that sort of thing. I've learnt quite a lot, but it's still not easy. Yeah. And I get very angry when I'm texting because, the words run together and you misspell things and you've got to go back and start again, and that drives me bonkers. But I get there in the end. Yeah. Some of my children wonder what on earth I've sent them at times. But it's been really interesting, and the mobile, that's the only phone I've got, and it's so handy and I can reach everybody no matter where they are. It's wonderful.
So do you feel like having greater confidence using your phone helps you to feel more connected then to people?
Oh, yes, definitely, because I've come down here. I'm originally from Hobart and I went to Devonport 71 years ago when I married, and I've come back home virtually, and so I've got a lot of people to contact too. And they can contact me and send me photos of what they're doing and all that. And I can usually find them if I'm lucky. But no, it's been a real experience with having the girls coming in, and it was lovely.
Wonderful. Could you pass that along to Alicia? Alicia, how has working with an older person or a group of older people influenced the way that you see the different generations?
I think I've just realised that it's not as scary as I thought to get old. Like I was originally really terrified that as I got older I would lose everything. But after speaking with Brendan and being friends with Brenda, I've realised it's not that bad. Obviously there's things like muscles and you do lose a lot of things, but overall he's still the same person he was when he was younger. Yeah. And I just respect that.
So do you think then spending time with him what I'm hearing is it's taught you that people stay individual and unique their whole lives?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think it doesn't matter if you're old or young, you're still the same person you are. Mm-hmm. Sure, things change, but he's still the same guy. Yeah.
That's beautiful, thank you. I'm going to go to Emma, if you can grab the microphone there. How important for you, so if you can just let everyone know where you're from and how many residents live in the... Yep.
So I'm from Bishop Davies Court in Kingston, so part of One Care. We've got, I think we're up to 84 residents at that facility. I've been there for 15 years now, and the activities coordinator just for about 5 years there. So, yeah.
And so have the students come in and Mel and her team come in. Did you notice any unexpected... Oh, you okay? Yeah, all good. Did you notice any unexpected benefits for either you as a home and the staff and what they were noticing, or the residents by participating in this program?
Yeah, both. We've had a lot of childcare visits before, but we've never actually had high school students come in. And I think for us, we were quite anxious, really, going, oh, how's this going to work? I know with my children, they're a little bit older and they get a bit scared coming into the nursing home, but sometimes being touched and things. But having this program, I think at the end of that first session, we just thought, wow, this is really good for both the students and for the residents. And you could tell we just want to keep it going with it, but it had to come to an end, unfortunately. Yeah, the changes, just people coming out of their shells a lot more, just opening up, especially for our residents, just expressing, from how it was changing from their childhood to now. So, yeah.
And Emma, I think Sophie on the film, is that right, is with One Care getting a traineeship. Yeah. So that's another sort of, it wasn't unexpected, but we had this hope that it might be that some younger people might then think about having a career in aged care. Yep. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
This was the first time I actually knew about that for today. So
okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure. I'll ask George, our facility manager, when we get back.
he runs both Kingston and One Care. So I'll out in Glenorchy. But I'll chat with George when I get back and see. But that's really good. And I think for going into nursing or just aged care as a carer, coming in and just seeing, is it for you? Is it suited for you? Some people may not, want to go down that career path, but even just volunteering for me, coming in and volunteering even, and seeing if this is the right path for students. But it's good if traineeships can come out of something like this. So,
Wonderful. I'll just ask you to pass the microphone on to Frank, if that's okay. So, Frank, I got to meet you and Vlad a couple of weeks ago, and it seemed like you had a really great connection with your buddy who was helping you with your tech. Was there anything that surprised you about working with a younger person to help you on those tasks?
No, it didn't surprise me. I really honestly didn't come in thinking that it was just me. I could contribute to them and they have nothing to offer me. I didn't think that way, and that certainly didn't run out in my experience of it. And I look upon it this way, that there are two wheels. There's the big wheel, which as a 78-year-old is life experience, and you can draw on that frequently. Whereas the young people, in regard to life experience, it's a little wheel. But the little wheel and the big wheel can merge together, and that's where the value and the contribution comes. And vice versa, I substitute the big wheel for the young people and the little wheel for me, because I have much to learn. My partner is Vladimir over there, and I think the other young gentleman, Harvey, here. And, well, the thing is reversed. They can contribute to me a lot about technology, because as a baby boomer born between 47 and 64, and having grown up and retired, a lot of these things about smartphones and so on, I had no idea for the first 60 years of my life. And these have come into effect in the last, I think the smartphone was about 2010. Well, that's about the time that some of the participants were born. So I had nearly a lifetime of getting by and knowing nothing about that. So as Vladimir and the other gentleman here, Harvey, were talking to me, I learned a lot about how to use my smartphone rather than just sending a call, making a call, receiving a call, sending a text, making a text, sending an email, receiving an email, and that was about where it stopped. And so Vladimir helped me to navigate through the icons on the phone, and so that was very enriching, and I learned a lot, and I'm ever learning. I think one of your questions is on practice, and practice is important, and I always think in terms of practice of Don Bradman with a cricket bat and a golf ball, flicking it back against a hard wall. Tens of thousands of times he did it, but out of that, the finesse in batting, his hand-eye coordination and his timing, so that's what I like an episode, the big wheel and the little wheel. So to be honest, I came out not feeling like a big wheel, more of a smaller wheel than when I first came in. So that's a mark of great respect to the young people here who didn't look upon people like me as an old fogey who's got nothing to say, nothing to talk about. So to answer your question, yes.
Yeah, it's that mutual respect, isn't it? Yeah. It's one of the things that, it doesn't surprise me, but it's one of the things that comes up when I've been coming to visit the groups with Mel, is just the absolute mutual respect that I witness and I see between the students and the residents. So it's really nice to hear you say that as well, Frank. Harvey, I've got a question for you. Has this program and the time that you've spent going to Rosary Gardens inspired you to either keep volunteering or supporting older people as you move forward in your life?
I think that this program's really inspired me, out of everything it's done for me, to talk to strangers more. Not necessarily just to old people, but every single person has an amazing story to tell, and I'd like to hear everyone's if I could. I definitely love to work with old people before because they have the most stories, and it's so fascinating to hear what everyone has to say. And I loved being able to talk to as many people as I could there. It was brilliant.
Do you have a particular story that you can tell us of something that was interesting or fun that you learnt from one of your buddies?
I learnt that my partner Wayne had spent a lot of time working with trucks throughout his life. So experiencing someone who had that amount of expertise was pretty incredible, because I'd never really seen anyone as hyperfixated on something as he was on trucks.
And so you learn about trucks.
Yes.
Excellent.
Lots of expertise.
Yeah, great. Liz, I've got a question for you now, and your support has been absolutely invaluable. I'll just say Mel speaks incredibly highly of you, and thank you for sharing our vision. I guess what changes do you feel you've seen in some of your students over the course of the time, and what's that like as a teacher to see a program that's a little bit different like this, being able to provide a different sort of opportunity for your students?
It's really rewarding to see the positive regard that the residents and the students hold for each other, and how quickly, I think Mel said on the film, how quickly those friendships were created. It was on the way out of our very first session, which everyone had been very nervous when we were going in. Ooh, the mystery of a nursing home, what will we see? And as we left, the students immediately said, so can we keep on doing this next term? In terms of changes, I guess Harvey's already alluded to it. It's a growth in confidence and a growth in curiosity about other people's lives. I feel that the people that have been through this program are more likely to step in or come to the aid of an older person should they see them struggling out and about, whereas before the program they may have just watched on and felt a bit bad but didn't know how to approach a situation. But yeah, definitely increase in confidence.
And how have you shared or want to share that more broadly with your school so that more schools can see that this is a really valuable thing to do? Have you had conversations with other teachers? How can you see that you might be able to help share that to be able to grow the program?
Obviously through our testimonials and our fabulous film. But yes, just getting out there and sharing the stories, and the students sharing. Word of mouth is an amazing and speedy way for people to learn things these days, particularly with social media. So, just promoting that we're actively doing this, and it's a really rewarding experience for all involved.
As Mel said, we absolutely have a mission to get this in every aged care home across Tasmania. We would love to do that. So we will keep talking with funders and things to be able to make that possible. Kathleen, I've got a couple of questions to ask you all just to finish off, but Kathleen, we'll start with you. Why do you think friendships across the ages is so important? Why is it important to have friendships and connections with people across all different ages? What does it give you?
To have people
of different ages
coming from the schools and things. I think it's been absolutely wonderful. But when we had just girls, I think, and they said to me when I go on the committee, yes, but then they said, young girls, you see, and I said, well, I haven't had much to do with them because I don't, I've got granddaughters, but I just had boys, and I thought, what am I going to talk about to them? And but the thing was that they did the talking, and it was very, very good. And we had some very fun times, I can tell you, especially in the drawing classes.
Have you got your drawing in your room, have you?
No, I've got my partner's drawing.
Yeah, yeah.
But my drawing, I can't draw for nuts. And so I said, I'll have to do a stick person, you see. What it started off was a very small head on the stick person, so they had to be small, you see. Anyway, when we finished, I said, look, throw that straight in the rubbish tin. Oh, no, she said. I'm taking it home to show my little 4-year-old brother. I thought, poor boy. Anyway, it got there, and the next time I saw her, she came up with the little boys there with my picture here. And then she said to him, take it and put it in my room. No, he said, I'm keeping that. So at least somebody realises my achievement in drawing a little tiny funny person, and he acknowledged that it was pretty good.
It sounds like you made his day.
That was really lovely. Really
Absolutely. Alicia and Harvey, when you think about all those fun activities that Mel puts you through each week alongside your tech support, what were some of the things that you enjoyed the most?
Oh, sorry.
Maybe let us know a few of the things that you did.
I really enjoyed the drawing. Was really, really fun. My partner had a lot of fun with that. He couldn't draw me, so he drew a clock, but it's still sitting on my desk, and mine of him is sitting on his mantle in his room, and he loves it. Yeah. But my favourite was definitely just the questions. I learnt so much about Brendan through the questions, and he learnt so much about me. It was always his favourite activity. I think one of the times we were doing the exercise activities, he was pulling, and he kept letting go of the exercise bands and picking up a card to ask me questions. But yeah, it was just it was so cool learning stuff about him, and he loved hearing stuff about me too, which was really nice.
Yeah. What about you, Harvey? So we know that we had the bands, you were saying, and the pictures. Were there any other activities that you enjoyed doing?
We were given a deck of cards and given the instructions to play card games. So Wayne taught me how to play poker, which is a great influence. That was lots of fun. And then we went on to play blackjack as well.
Wonderful. And I guess the last sort of question I've got, and for anyone really, was did you learn something about yourself along the way by being involved in this program? Something that you weren't, might not have recognised that in yourself, or just something about you as a person? Go, Harvey. Yeah.
I learnt that it's always worth it to listen to people and talk to people because everyone's interesting and people also find you interesting no matter how much you doubt yourself. Yeah. It's always worth it to try everything, I think.
That's beautiful. Anything else? Anyone? Emma looks like she's going to.
I think I just learnt. I was a bit scared to start with. I think just trying new activities is always a bit scary in case it fails. So I think just for me it was just try, just see how anything goes, and give it a go. So I think for me, just trying new things and just winging it really. So that's something I learnt, and it was very well run, and I think I just can't wait to do it again in a few weeks' time. I think that's about 3 more weeks to go. So really excited about getting that back up and running again. Yeah.
So we've got some forward bookings already from this term, and we've got term 4 booked out, I think, as well, and already booking into term 1 next year. So if everyone could give a round of applause to our wonderful participants. Just before you go, there's another big thank you that I want to give. And Mel, I know you did a wonderful job on the film there, but I'm going to make you come up and let everybody just see who you are. Mel is our program coordinator for digital inclusion, and without her, we would absolutely not be here today. Mel's had a strong passion and interest in intergenerational programs and connections for most of her career, and we are absolutely fortunate to have her part of our team. And I think Mel's one of those special people who lives out her values every single day, and she really truly gets joy from seeing people contribute and progress. So through your passion and enthusiasm, we've been able to achieve so much already, Mel, and I just want to say thank you very much on behalf of the team and all the participants that you've worked with already in Term 3, and we can't wait to see where you go, and we're really lucky to have you at Cota, so thank you. And as Mel said in the film, looking ahead, we absolutely do have a bold aim. We've already put in conference presentations interstate next year to showcase this film and to showcase the outcomes of this program. Our aim is to create intergenerational friendships. So it might be through tech, it might be through other activities, but I think hopefully you can all see through the film and through listening today that this is actually about human connection. It's actually about having those conversations and chances to interact with people of varying ages to yourself. And quite clearly we've heard today how enriching that can be for everybody. So thank you all very much for coming. We are going to have some afternoon tea now together where you can meet the participants and have a conversation and pick up some information about our program if it's new to you and you'd like to learn more after today as well. Please reach out to Mel, and thank you again everybody for coming and celebrating with us.